Hi, I'm Tom Embriani from Baldwin Hardware Corporation, and today we're going to be installing a mortise lock and trim on the entryway to this beautiful home. Let's check it out. We're going to be installing a 6021 polished brass mortise lock in this left-hand door. This is a 3.0/6/8 door. It's 1 3/4 thick, and as you can see, it has been prepared with a cylindrical cutout. Some of our trim sets are handed. Trim sets that are supplied with levers or with offset pulls must be ordered the same hand as the lock which you intend to install. Our locks and trim are sold separately, so let's examine the component parts which are supplied with each. Our mortise locks are supplied with the lock, cylinder and 2 keys, scalp, cylinder plug, dust box, the necessary fasteners, strike plate, installation instructions, and locks which are supplied with cylinders or security strike. Components supplied with the trim include the outside trim, the inside escutcheon, the inside knob, and a small box which contains the spindle, the set screws, and the necessary fasteners. The first step is to check the compatibility between lock and trim. You can see with this mortise lock there will be an adequate amount of material behind the lock so that we have a good installation. The next step is to lay the trim, the outside trim on the door, and the center of the trim should match the back set of the lock. In this case, 2 3/4 inch. You can see that this trim will center itself nicely on the stile. Well, we've checked the compatibility between lock and trim, so let's start to prepare the door. The standard location for the knob is anywhere from 36 to 39 inches from the finished floor to the center line of the knob. In retrofit applications, the location may vary slightly up or down due to existing door or jamb preparations. Once the height has been determined, the mortising tool can be clamped to the door. This one has already been checked for the accuracy of the adjustments. If you have access to one of these tools, which we recommend, but aren't certain if it's set properly, make a trial cut or two in a piece of 2x6. This will eliminate the guesswork. These tools are designed to be self-centering when they're clamped to the door. Now let's mortise the pocket. With the pocket completed, the next step is to route the edge of the door for the lock front. This is most easily done with a lock face template and a router which is equipped with a 2-flute cutter. Here again, make a trial cut on a piece of 2x6 if you're not certain if the adjustments are accurate. A hammer and sharp chisel will do if a router and template are not available. The next step is to square the corners. One of the features of Baldwin's 2.5 and 2 3/4 inch backset mortise locks is the anti-friction latch. This feature does require a small relief pocket on the side of the mortise and can easily be cut with a chisel. With these steps completed, place the lock into the mortise pocket and check for fit. Fold the yellow template and mark the door on the inside and the outside to correspond with the information on the blue sheet. Make certain that you mark the correct back set. To further simplify marking the door, a Baldwin metal marking template number 8498 is available through your Baldwin distributor. This installation accessory is self-aligning and facilitates marking the door on both sides in one easy step. We recommend it for anyone who frequently installs Baldwin hardware. Double check all markings and drill the door outside first and then the inside. All drill sizes are listed on the yellow marking template. Note that hole number 6 will be a 1-inch diameter hole from the outside. However, only drill through the door approximately 5/8 inch with a spur bit or a butterfly bit. The point on these bits will mark where the hole must be drilled completely through the door to accommodate the top bolt for the pull. If you will notice, this hole is for the spindle which must be installed from the outside. On a door which has been prepared for a cylindrical lock, there isn't any material for that preparation, so we can omit that step. All of our door preparations have been checked for accuracy, so let's start the hardware installation. Before installing the lock in the door, screw the cylinder plug into the side of the lock facing the inside. Double cylinder applications omit this step. Check the bevel on the lock and install with the 2 steel screws provided. Place a small shim between the lock and the mortise pocket. This is to prevent the lock from moving inside the mortise pocket when the cylinder is installed. If the lock remains parallel with the door, the cylinder will lay flat on the surface of the trim. Install the spindle from the outside at this time. Spindles currently supplied are of a new design. On these spindles, remove the screw and lock washer, install the spindle from the inside with the V-groove facing toward the bottom hinge. Thread the screw with the lock washer into the spindle from the outside and tighten it securely. Lay the outside trim on the edge of the door and mark the tailpiece so that it will reach halfway through the door. Cut the tailpiece at this point. Insert the cylinder through the outside trim and thread it into the mortise lock. Do not completely tighten at this time. Start the top through bolt, slip the threaded washer over the bottom through bolt, and thread into the bottom of the pull. Tighten the cylinder and through bolts at this time. Operate the lock with the outside trim. Ensure that when the thumb piece is depressed, the latch bolt fully retracts. Drill pilot holes and fasten the inside escutcheon with the screws provided. Remove the aligning tool nut and install the knob so that the set screws are located at 4 and 8 o'clock. Make sure that the set screws are located in the flats of the spindle and that they are securely tightened. On trim sets supplied with a new spindle design and an alignment bushing, slide the alignment bushing over the spindle and into the knob hole before fastening the escutcheon. This will ensure proper alignment between lock and trim. Drill pilot holes and fasten the escutcheon to the door. Remove the alignment bushing and discard. Slide the knob onto the spindle and tighten the set screws securely. Check the lock for proper function with the inside trim installed. The next step is to tighten the cylinder yoke assembly. It's a slotted screw located directly above the deadbolt. Tighten it until you just begin to feel some resistance. With that done, extend the deadbolt and slip the scalp over the edge of the lock. Fasten it with the 2 small Phillips screws provided. The last step is the installation of the strike. Coat the edge of the latch bolt with chalk or lead. Retract the latch bolt, close the door, and release the latch against the jamb several times. The mark from the chalk or lead on the jamb is the location for the strike. Trace the outline of the strike with a sharp pencil or a utility knife. Route or chisel out for the strike, dust box, and security strike. Well, there you have it, an entry system that is second to none in beauty and function. I'm Tom Embriani for Baldwin Hardware. Thanks for watching.